Are you gonna video it?
Okay, I'm going in to surprise Grandpa. Surprise!
Oh my God, the whole gang.
Yeah, happy 50th radio anniversary.
Thank you. My entire family just walked in the door. I think I know why. J.P. Cola is with us this evening as well. Thank you all for coming. Are we going to have a party?
Yeah.
Well, Paul, we have a very special guest tonight. And I think it's someone who's very important to you, who's probably been the most important person in your life up to this point. The guest is you.
Oh.
We're going to chat with you a little bit because, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating Paul Stagg's 55th anniversary on the air in various capacities.
Yay!
Man, oh man, oh man. Paul, this is your life. Let's talk to you a little bit about your broadcasting career. How in the world did you get involved in such a cush job?
Yeah,
55 years.
Sit and talk for 55 years. It started because my family lived right over here by the fairgrounds, and one of my teachers in the 9th grade was John Esbjornson.
Oh yeah.
John was an English teacher and a speech teacher, and he also was a theater director at the high school. He would work here on Sunday nights part-time, and I began to pedal my bike out here just to see what he was doing, because it was a short ride from the house. And so it got to the point where John one evening said, well, why don't you go play the records and talk on the radio? And I said, well, all right, I'm all of 15 years old. What
Don't
the heck?
you wish you had some of those tapes?
Oh, not that far back, but I've got tapes from the late 50s when I was on the radio here, and one of these days I'm going to get them put on CD, and then the granddaughters over here can sit and laugh. Listen
you probably, even at 15, you probably sounded great. So.
Oh, I know. I don't know about that, but I had some very interesting moments and some great times here as a kid, because then, of course, I became sort of the big man on campus. I was the guy in high school on the radio on the weekends, see? It was a big deal.
Well, and you told me some stories about, for instance, the time that there was an escapee from the Wilmer Regional Treatment Center that came in and sat in on your show.
Yes, as you know, this studio, well, maybe you don't know, this studio that we're sitting in now was a huge studio with a grand piano in it. All the records were lining the walls in here when I was here in the 50s and 60s. And the studio, which is now Big Country, was our main control room. And right beside that control room, there's a large window that looks onto a hallway that comes in from the front door and goes all the way to the back door. I looked up one evening, and here's this very large gentleman in the State Farm or State Hospital uniform, which was the bib overalls and the blue shirt, just staring at me. Everybody else had gone home already. So here I was with this guy thinking, okay, now what's going to happen to me? And I finally worked up the nerve to walk around and say, can I help you with something? And he said, wanna watch? So I said, okay. So then what am I supposed to do, Mike? Oh, the mouse, okay. And so then I thought, well, there's got to be some way that I can get this guy to be in a spot where I can get away from him and call police. So I sat him down in the studio with me on a chair, and I said, why don't you sit here and watch me? And he did. He came in and he sat down, and then I said, I've got to go get some news. And in those days, we had the teletype machines way out by the front door. So I raced out to what was the front desk and the phone there and called the police and said, we've got this patient here from the hospital. Would you please come and help me? And so then I went back in, and he was just fine. He continued to watch me. And then he said, I'm going to go. And he got up and he left. And the police showed up about 2 minutes later, and I said, he went that way.
Oh, well, so, if you think this is a disruption to your show, just get back to that time. So.
That had me breathing a little bit shallow that night, yeah.
Now, after you left our fine broadcasting abode here, where did you go after
Well,
that?
I was a part-timer here through high school, and that was 1960 that I graduated. I lasted 15 minutes in college. Then I came back soon after as a full-time announcer here, and continued to work here full-time until 1963. And then I moved to WDAY in Fargo, where I was able to try a little television. Oh, you should have seen me as Sunday night news anchor on TV.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. They're still talking about it.
Yeah, someday we'll show you the kinescope that that I still have of that. And then from there, I was lucky enough to move to the Twin Cities, first to WWTC, and then to the CCO family of stations. And then my wife Susan and I owned stations for a while, Princeton and Duluth together. And then we decided to move back here.
Okay.
And did so, what, 5 years ago now?
About 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the day you came back here, there was a big fire downtown Wilmer, so
Oh, yeah.
heck of a way to welcome you back.
Yeah, it was. They
People
knew I was
running
back.
up and down halls rescuing people.
They were burning the evidence.
You know, they were saying, Paul Stagg is back, Paul Stagg is
Yes.
back. That got him out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, 55 years, hard to believe, and it's still going strong with the Live at 5 show.
Oh, having
Or
fun.
we'll say Live at 55
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah.
We have some special messages for you
Sure.
from some friends of yours that have been recorded. The first one, Bill Linder.
Okay,
Let's give a
listen to Bill.
Well, I would certainly like to congratulate Paul on his 55 years in broadcasting, and now at this time of Thanksgiving particularly, we certainly feel blessed that this was his alpha and omega, as they say, the beginning of his and hopefully not his end, but at least up to the present time of his relationship in the broadcasting industry. He certainly has been had a wonderful career, and we're very blessed to have been involved in it all these years.
And of course, Bill Linder, and of course his son, our current boss, Steve Linder, owner of Lakeland Broadcasting.
Is a great broadcasting story, and we're very proud to be part of that story. Paul started his career as a part-time announcer on KWLM 55 years ago. It was always fun to listen to Paul on WCCO and remind people that he started on KWLM. When Paul and Susan moved back to Lake Florida, I remember the day when we both stopped for coffee at the same time at Deidre's and Spicer and just started talking about the good old days and radio today. And before long, we were talking about Paul doing some part-time work again at KWLM. I actually was kind of surprised by that he would even consider it. I guess maybe it's in his blood. Obviously, he still has the talent to continue in radio. I'm glad that he was interested, and Paul has been a great addition to our staff, creating Live at 5 with Paul Stagg, anchoring afternoon news broadcasts, and working with clients to tell their story with that great Paul Stagg voice. Congratulations, Paul, on your very successful 55 years in broadcasting. We're so glad that you're still on the air on KWLM.
Thank you, Steve. Steve and Bill, what a fine family to be working for, and you know that.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yep. Radio and hepatitis, they both get in your blood, so.
I can't get rid of either one of them yet.
We have some more greetings for you. They're all fairly self-explanatory, so fire away.
All right, this one's entitled Paul's Friends.
Hi, Paul. This is Dale, one of your mystery trip participants, and I'm here to wish you an exciting and super time during your anniversary of being on the air. Your voice is fabulous, and you are fabulous, and I'm just wishing you the best of luck, or maybe the same period again. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Congratulations, Paul. This is Patty, and just want to say thanks for being such a good friend on and off the air. I raise my cup to your success, past, present, and future.
Oh, that was nice of them. Patty and Dale, good friends of ours, so Duluth way.
Oh, yeah. Well, keep it rolling. We've still got more.
Okay, we have Paul's kids and grandkids.
Hey, Dad, this is your son, Todd. How are you? Congratulations on 55 years in the broadcast business.
Hi, Dad. It's Nicole. Congratulations on 55 years of radio. I remember as a kid going to see you at WCCO on career day, and I was so embarrassed and shy to talking to the microphone, but watching you was so much fun. Also, as a kid, waking up and listening to your voice in the morning and how it was so deep, and I always liked that too. I'm very proud of you, and I love you. Here are the girls. Happy anniversary, Gramps. We love you. You're the best
Thank
grandpa
you.
in the world.
And they were paid highly to say
Yes,
that.
they were, yes. And one final, your biggest fan.
Yes, she is. Here's Susan.
It all started November of '57. Paul's first radio job. He thought he was in heaven. Announcer, manager, the Linders gave him a chance. Staggerwald became Stagg here in his hometown. His fate was sealed even before his cap and gown. Paul's been at a few stations over the years, including CCO, talking to lots of ears. Now back on KWLM, where at 5 he's live, where we are all celebrating Stagg's year 55. It's a milestone in radio, Paul. You've made us all proud. Your family, friends, and the whole listening crowd. You've entertained and informed for all these years with your distinctive voice, music to our ears. Even being Mrs. Paul Stagg has been quite a ride. Happy anniversary. I'm proud to be by your side.
Thank you. Love you all. Thank you very much.
So we were going to have that recorded as a rap with a little bit of a beatbox sound in the
She
background.
couldn't do it, huh?
Nah, I decided not to.
Yeah, couldn't find anybody.
Now, I believe our intrepid engineer Mike Schrader has found